What's up, everybody? Getting started to do a live. Just got back from the gym and I'm ready to do a live. I've got my operations manager here today in the yard somewhere, and there's a garden crew of 2. I'm gonna do some garden maintenance today. Don't know if this is on. I'm gonna leave the headphones on just in case. Can't remember if I even have them on. Let me know if you can hear me. I've got to get everything in front of me. I just turned on my computer. Oops, I added live. How did I do that? Oops, I added live. How did I do that? Okay, here we go. So today, hey, I'm not holding anybody to this, but I'm supposed to have a guest, Tarek. Somebody who I feel like I've let down quite a bit. He's asked me questions all year. And what's up, Walter? And I don't know if I didn't answer him. Like, I don't know, man. I've had a crazy year. It's been a crazy, crazy year. So hopefully Tarek shows up on this live that I've got to give him access to. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. But anyway, so I was like, I'll be on live Saturday at 9 o'clock. So I'm a little early, but I wanted to make sure I had time to do what I needed to do. I don't remember how to do this, but I will try. So that's what's going on right now. I'm just trying to add him on to my live. I just don't remember how to do that. So I'm gonna need a second. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is not gonna work. Maybe it will. I've been needing to do this anyway, so. Sorry, it sounded like somebody's pulling into the yard, but I don't see anybody. All right, here we go. Getting closer. Getting closer. All right. Got it. Boom. Nope. I'm working on it here. I've done it before. Walter, happy Saturday. We're doing a joke and a home and garden show. And I have a Christmas light set up. Nice. Can't see me? What do you mean? can't see me. How about now? Um, I don't know. I see myself on the camera. So just notice that light's a little bright here. How about that? That help a little bit? Let's see. Boom. Okay. Um, it's on our Facebook page and Insta. Nice. Okay. Still trying to. So this Facebook, sorry, this YouTube. Um, oh, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Boom, boom. I remembered how to do it. I'm gonna go back to here and then in the chat. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna do this because it's gonna go directly to Tarek. So I've sent Tarek an invitation. I don't blame him if he doesn't show up because, like I said, I feel like I've let him down quite a bit. He's asked me questions throughout the year. Don't know if I've answered them. Maybe I did, but I think I could have done a better job. And I feel like I didn't. So I do apologize about that. So if he doesn't show up, I don't blame him. But he did say he would. And I just sent him the invitation on Instagram. So he should show up. So we'll see how that plays out. Um, so anyway, guys, I don't need both headphones. Right now, I'm looking at this time of the year as my season's about to start, not end. Guys, if you do snow removal, it goes into the new year, and then immediately after, you start working. So if you do snow, you're probably going through the slowest time of the year or about to be, right? You're about to head into the slowest time of the year. And that's the time when you need to start making, strategic plans for your next year. So that's why I call this the beginning of my year because this is when we're making changes. I huddle with the like my top people here, and we start talking about, hey, how are we going to do this thing next year? Like this division, how are we going to operate it? This labor, how are we going to fix it so that we don't have this issue that we had this year? And that's what's going on now, and it's kind of exciting because the people that are still like kind of, I don't know, I would say in the office or foremans that are like really serious about growing this thing. It's a fun time because this is when they get to tell me their ideas. This is when they're like, hey, next year we got to do this, we have to do this. And it's just like, yeah, let's write it up, let's do it, you know what I mean? So I got to dress up now as the Grinch and shake hands. Gotta go. Later, man. Have fun. Good luck. Close some customers. Get a bunch of phone numbers, and just remember, just being out there is you're already winning by being out there, showing your name out there, your company, and customers can get some information. So I mean, at the end of the day, you're already winning. So good job, man. Talk to you later. So yeah, um, here's the deal. Last, I guess it was January, last January, which was the start of my year last year, right? I was working on manuals, right? And for every position in the company, full long 30-page manuals, and I'm not talking about the employee handbook, that's different. The handbook is the handbook, right? It's like, hey, this is how we pay PTO, this is who qualifies for health insurance, Hey, this no smoking on property policy, no, all those kind of stuff that everybody has to follow no matter what position they're in the company. They have to do these things, right? They want to, for example, the PTO, if they want PTO, they need to do this step and that step and then get approved. You know what I mean? Um, everybody has to do it the same way. But the trade manuals, the ones that are the position manuals, like the Mo guy, he has a different, his day looks different than the sprinkler guy. So the Mo guys have their own manual, and same thing with my operations manager. He has a different manual than everybody else in the company because he's just the one operations manager that we have. The general manager has a general manager, um, and that kind of stuff. So I I was working on those last year. It feels like it's been 2 years, but it's only been really a year, I guess. Can't believe it. I really can't believe that. I feel like it's been 2 years. And has it been 2 years? Is that possible? No, it's not. So anyway, coffee cup loaded. Let's go, Eden. Let's go. So I'm just saying that it's the beginning of my year, and all those people that do snow removal and things like that. I mean, basically, you should look at this as the beginning of your year as well. And this is when some strategic planning needs to happen. And so it's really exciting. So yesterday, I met with my new sprinkler foreman, and I we went over the trade manual. And not only did I do I give them the trade manual, but I read it to them word for word, the whole thing. And what we're doing right now is a little different, um, with the sprinkler foreman. I read to him the sprinkler foreman manual, and I told him to read the sprinkler technician manual. They're two different manuals, right? Because one of them is the foreman and one's the sprinkler technician. They the foreman does all the work of the technician, but they also have some added responsibility. So I told him he needs to. I read the foreman manual with him, and he's take it with him and make edits to it, and then we'll finalize it together because I really want to get his info on all this stuff. And it was such a productive meeting. It was crazy good meeting. My operations manager was there along with me and my sprinkler foreman, and it was just incredible. Like one of those type of meetings where it's like you're ready to go right there. You want to stop the meeting and just get to work. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, this is amazing. So we finished the meeting. It was 3 hours. I had a feeling it was 3 hours. It was going to take that long. Um, but it was so awesome. So I told my sprinkler foreman that's the first of two meetings. We'll have our second meeting in 2 weeks where we finalize the manual together, and then we have the final discussions, whatever questions he didn't ask about yesterday's meeting or whatever I need to ask to follow up, we'll do it on that second meeting. And then after that, we're ready for snow clearing and then planning on sprinklers when it's slow. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm really excited. And my next meeting is going to be with the operations manager. So I'm working on his manual currently. Um, Let me kind of read to you kind of what these kind of look like, right? So here's the operations manager manual. Actually, why don't I read? I don't know, operations manager. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet, so I don't know if he's going to be listening. Anyway, it basically goes over a brief description of what a sprinkler technician is, if it's a sprinkler tech manual, and then kind of lays out some of the key points, you know. But then it starts going into your day to day, like when you pull into the shop, what's the first thing you should be doing, all the way till you clock out, So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's see. But it's also one of those things that could be overkill. I'm not gonna lie, you know. For example, I gave so the only manuals that I did give out already last year was the mowing manual. Like I completed that one first because there's so many more crews that do mowing, and I just felt like that was the easiest one that I could knock out with good quality and give it to the and have it ready. I didn't give it to anybody because I felt like it wasn't ready, but I got to do that this year. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these files when the manuals are complete, and we're going to have them printed up and actually put into like a nice kind of like bind them, not in a binder, but something that they can actually hold like a book. I want to do that with every single trade manual, um, and hand them out to people, to those people that are working those projects or positions. So anyway, that's the time. This is the time where we're doing all this kind of stuff, and we're reevaluating the performance pay on a lot of different positions, I guess you would say. Um, we are we're actually re-looking at the man hour rates, because we did the man hour rates 2 years ago, and they haven't been updated. And that's something we've learned that we're going to need to do that every single year. In fact, we might want to do it every 6 months, um, because things change, things go up, things go, you know what I mean? Things never go down, they always go up. So we want to be a little bit more financially like prepared, especially after the year we had this year. But I don't want it to all be about exact numbers unless it makes sense. I like how my setup is where, we've got these positions like foremans and estimators slash division managers. And sometimes they don't bring in any money, all these people. They don't bring in any money. But because of the work they do, it makes the other workers that are actually on property billing every hour, it makes them more efficient, like way more efficient. So even though these people don't make any money, don't bring in any money, like let's say a division manager who oversees the scheduling and talks to customers all day about quality and new work, but they're keeping the team just busy, busy, busy. If we had to have a garden manager or that was out in the field all the time working on the jobs, that would be too much for a garden worker. It would be too much, like go out, do quotes, and then when they don't have anything to do, go back into the shop or back into the yard with the crew. I mean, just doesn't really it's not efficient, you know what I mean? So those are kind of things that we have to plan for, and you could bill for, right? Like you add that to your bill, but at some point it gets so high that customers aren't going to want to pay for it. It's the truth. I know there's people that have no clue what I'm talking about. They think I should just raise my price as high as possible, and they think customers are just going to pay for it. It's just not the case. You have to be realistic. You have to kind of figure out the pulse of that whole situation because um, there is a point where customers your close rate goes from like let's say 20% down to 5%, and if that 5% is only keeping your guys busy for half a day every day, that's you got to make changes. And I'm not necessarily saying that you just have to lower your price because you're just going to get in a bigger trouble. What you need to do is lower your bills, lower your labor, your overtime. So that has been killing us. Overtime has been killing us. A lot of things have been, you know, our car insurance is starting to kill us. We're just adding vehicles, and next thing you know, it's like boom, you got this huge giant insurance bill that's huge. And it's like, well, you can't really lower that unless you start getting rid of vehicles. So that's something we're doing. And it's like the insurance bill is up here because we were just throwing trucks in there. And it's not like we can just go, oh, let's lower the price. Let's get rid of all the trucks. No, people have to buy the trucks. And so until we sell them, um, you can't really lower the insurance bill. Um, in the past, I have told the insurance company, hey, don't insure these 3 trucks or whatever. And guess what? Insurance companies, they don't like that. They'll drop you. So you have to be mindful of all this stuff. It's not like super easy to just cancel uh, lower bills. You have to be strategic about that too. Hold on, I got an email that I want to read real quick. Uh, let's see here. By the way, guys, tomorrow I'm going to Dallas. Anybody going to Dallas for the Service Autopilot Conference or Mastermind Conference? There's 2 conferences back to back in Dallas, and the Mastermind group does it in Dallas so that everybody can go to the Service Autopilot Conference. So it's pretty cool, but it makes it that it's a week long. It's going to be really long. So I leave tomorrow evening. I just thought I'd say I'd stay here as long as I can before leaving, so I can spend more time at home. Sorry, I'm still looking. Hmm, interesting. Who would that be? Hmm. Sorry, every once in a while I get a weird email and you want to figure it out, or else you won't be able to stop thinking about it. Don't know. All right, just let Rachel deal with that. Um, let's see. So yeah, I can't wait to go. I can't believe it's already been a year. I've been going to this Dallas conference for I think this is going to be my 7th year. And one of those years it was done virtually, which was horrible. Um, but yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. I just really at this point I just go because of all the friends that I have that I get to see when I go there. And the talks are great too. Obviously, they're real high quality talks. But I mainly go for the friends and for the you know talking to them in between the whole meeting, before, after. What's up, Griff? Do you like Mike Andy's model for P4P? How does 33% of labor revenue? He does 33% labor revenue. Yeah, no, that's a good number. I do it a little differently, where he does a percentage off of revenue. I don't do that. I do off budget hours. But my labor after taxes, after all those fees, is 33%. Um, so I would I would when I'm telling people, because I think that's a good number that he tells people, hey, make sure you're letting them know 33%. I would actually say 27%. That way, after taxes and stuff, you're covered. People forget about that. Um, so that would be my only thing, but I like it. If every division was at 33%, Holy moly. That would be amazing. Um, you know, I'm okay with 50 with the whole company being at 50%, but we are working on trying to make that lower. And that was one of the manager meetings that we just had on because one of the divisions that really kills that labor for us is sprinklers. Um, so we're working on something that I think is going to be helpful. We have the team that I think would flourish with the new model if we did a performance pay in that division. We've done it in the past, but it just wasn't executed very well, and we're going to try it again this year. Maybe actually, we don't really know. We might use a combination of a few different things in this division. We have to get everybody in agreements to see what we're going to do, but there's a chance we could go performance pay in that division or continue with the commission bonus structure that we currently have in that division, or do a combination of both. During the slow season, we go towards a performance pay approach. Um, so that's something that I want to. I really want the workers to make this decision because I don't know. I think it would go better in this scenario as a trial basis for this 1 year because we just did something this year, which was the commission based model for the sprinklers, and I'm not happy with it. Like I don't. Rachel's getting all the data. She's doing that basically right now because it's so slow, and she's gonna figure out, what if it was good or if it was bad. I don't know. I know that we track the labor on sprinklers, and they have a longer slow period than busy season. So their busy season is like, the season starts in the spring up here, but then around June, it's like this: July, August, September, October goes back up, but I don't know. So performance pay, I do like it. I do like it if it's executed right. You just make sure you tell your people that, hey, we're going to try this out, and I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it out. And if I have to change it next year, don't get mad. I would make sure, I would even have them just sign something, not legal or anything, just like, hey, remember I told you that it's possible that we're going to change the percentage on performance pay. Um, Again, I know I gave you a long-winded answer. I even changed the subject probably, but performance pay is great, but it needs to be like when you first implement it, if it's good for the worker, too good for the worker and not good for the company, they're going to make adjustments. They don't care about the health of your company. They don't care about the bills you can't pay because you just paid them a whole bunch of money and they want to keep doing that. So you have to execute it good, you know. Just look at your numbers ahead of time. Look at you should have data how many hours they worked, during the busy season, what's their average, and then what's the hours they work in their slow season or their slow season, and how many lawns did they cut, and just try and get some data yourself as if you're doing P for P. Act like that's the next paycheck in your own, spreadsheets, and act like, hey, how much did that come out to? Um, so my guys, they kill it, man. They kill it. P for P only works with one man crews. I'll tell you that. I know I've heard people doing it with 2 to 3 man crews, and it's like 1 out of 100 that do it that way. You know what I mean? And as far as mowing, the majority, from what I would assume, is it's got to work best with one man crews because you're basically paying. The reason why you want to do it is to pay the worker more, right? And so, and you also want to make it sustainable. So you pay somebody, let's say they're on performance pay and they're making $28 an hour. Well, if they have two guys there, they're gonna have to work double faster. Okay, I'm not joking. Like, you can lie to yourselves all you want and say, "Oh, when you got two, you get a lot more done faster." Not true. There's a lot more busyness. Like, they're busier with two people because they've got to get from house to house to house to house, and that drive time too. It's crazy. So um, P for performance pay works best with a one man crew in mowing. Okay, I think it works really great for a garden cleanup crew, performance pay, because you got 30-hour job, you've got three guys, boom, guys, get this done in 8 hours, 7 hours. Don't take 10 hours to do it. And when they work in a garden, one place, one location, they can knock out a lot of work when they're motivated to get done faster. So that works great. Do I incorporate performance pay with snow removal? No, but I haven't promised any of my guys this year how we're gonna pay yet. I kind of promised them that it's gonna be a set payment every week, but it's still early enough that I could change that because a lot of the snow people that we have this year have just recently wanted to do snow. Most of them haven't done it anymore, and all of them are aware that the pay is determined by how many customers we have. So we're still in that phase where I can say, "Hey, this is how we're gonna pay. Do you wanna do it or not?" And that gives everybody enough time to figure out, but no, the way I do snow removal is here's the deal, man. Snow removal is the snow season is long and unpredictable, and it doesn't provide security when you pay hourly, because the guys, if you've got guys that are 100% committed and they're not going anywhere, um, it probably would work. But my guys have to get a paycheck every week, or they're gonna have to look for another job because that's too unpredictable, for them. So what I do is we pre-sell every account that we can, not the commercial accounts, the plowing the jobs, just the residential accounts. We try and pre-sell those, right? So the sidewalk and driveways of somebody's house, they have to prepay upfront, and then we save all that money. I still have it, and we've been getting customers since, I want to say, August. So customers have been buying it since August because we wanted to let them know early so that if they did wait till the last minute, hopefully they saved up enough to go to do this thing. It covers them all, basically all winter from December 1st to March 1st, because that's typically when our snow stops here is March. And then we take all that money and we divide it with all the workers we have, whether they're plow workers or shovel workers. It does not matter. The money gets divided. Um, in our case, it's not equally because some people were part time all year and they want to continue doing snow. So we're going to pay them as if they're still part time, because honestly, they're not going to work full time doing snow removal. Nobody does, at least in this area. On a busy There might be a busy week where they do work 40 hours, but they might work the next 3 weeks, they might only work 5 or 8 hours a week. So we just do a set price and they just agree to do it. And it's been working out really well. We do have what we would call, I guess, three tiers of how we pay our snow workers. We have, we have I would say, a list of workers that are on call 24 hours a day, and they're to start at 4, 3 in the morning, just like everybody else. But those guys are going to be asked to go back out, long after the list is done in a day. You may have customers that say, "Hey, do you guys do snow removal?" And it's now 3 p.m. or even 8 p.m. and they need their their business plowed or something. We're going to call one of those guys. So that list of workers gets paid a little more than the next group. The next group we call the 4 p.m. workers. because the 4 p.m. workers are only expected to work for us until 4 p.m. They are expected to answer the call at 4 in the morning when we call them and say, "Hey, are you awake? Are you getting ready to go out?" They have to press that like button and say, "Yes, they're getting ready." And they are basically our employee till 4 p.m. on snow days. And we pay them less than we do the 24-hour workers, but we don't expect them to work after 4 p.m. so they can get another job. They can start a 5 o'clock job or 4 o'clock job if they're allowed to be late. But we would never ask them to work past 4 p.m. And we tell all our customers this, so they are completely aware, and it's worked out great. And then we have the third tier of workers, which are well, we're like the part-time workers already in the year, right? So they were part-time workers or just worked a few days a week. We still pretty much pay them about what they were making so that they can have that steady income, and it's a lot less. We're paying them a lot less than I don't know, so about a lot less, but we're paying them less than the rest, and that helps us with payroll, and that helps us pay the 24-hour workers a little bit more, because we have all that money that we're kind of saving. So, and those are the three tiers, and then we actually, I mean, to be honest with you, we probably have another tier, fourth tier, which is the office, right? Like, um, we have an office staff that we work. So with that money, we rely on the plowing jobs to pay for them. And one of the rules that I kind of always had was like, and I'm not saying that I'm sticking to that this year, because guys, as you get busier every year, as your company grows every year, the level of workers gets increased, right? You're gonna have better workers, and they're gonna not want, but they need and deserve more money. So basically, you still have to pay them, but so in the past, what I've done was on a snow day, it's kind of like a mandatory day off for the office staff because everybody else is working, but they're off. So that kind of helps save a little bit of money for us that way too. But like I said, as we get bigger every year, we've got office workers that, they need the money and they want the money and they deserve it. So I don't know if that's still going to be the case, but I know for sure what I'm going to say is, you know, on snow days you can request off if you want. You can. Um, so anyway, that's kind of how I look at the start of the year for me. By the time March comes around and we're rocking and rolling, yeah, that's technically the start of the season, but it gets so chaotic. You should be ready now, you know. Um, so So there it is. We are we're more than halfway funded, are we? We're about we're about we're more than halfway funded, I think, last I checked with Rachel. She didn't seem nervous, I'll tell you that. That makes me feel good. But we're more than halfway funded with snow, and we have all of November this month to try and kind of excrete some money that comes in and kind of put it into the snow account, which we haven't put any lawn care money into the snow account all year. And so I think for my peace of mind, we might need to do that. Griff, are you running 2 or 3 man crews for leaf cleanup? So normally so right now we on November 1st, we let all our employees that don't have a driver's license go, because November does slow down, and this gives us an opportunity to give our guys that are doing snow removal more of a steady paycheck still. You know what I mean? So we do let people, lay them off for the season if they don't have a driver's license and they don't do snow. That's another requirement, um, in November. And so right now we have a 2 man crew, and two-man crews is what we have. So one of them's the regular garden maintenance crew, and the other one is the garden cleanup crew. And they're now doing leaf cleanups too because we're running low on work. It's getting really cold out here, guys. It gets cold right now. It's sometimes some mornings lately it's been below freezing. Um, and when it's that cold, like customers just don't really call to have stuff done. Luckily, the middle of the day, it's been warming up to like 60s, so that's good. Uh, let's see. Sorry, guys, I got a message real quick. I just want to answer. No, I'm not going to answer, but I just read it. Okay, seems good. Yesterday my wife asked me, "Hey, how's work?" And I was like, "Man, really, really good." She's like, "Why? What happened?" I go, "Because nothing bad happened." You know? And then she's like, "Well, that's kind of weird to think about like that." And I go, "No, I just thought about how, when something bad happens and you're like, damn it, got to deal with this thing, you forget that you just had 4 good days. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, things were so nice 4 days ago. So I try to remember these days where, knock on wood, nothing bad has happened yesterday. Um, as far as like, big problem type stuff, obviously, I'm sure a job or two got missed or something like that, you know what I mean? That could have been better, but like nothing, no big financial hits with repairs. Nobody got hurt. No property was damaged. You know what I mean? Um, and it's really funny because about an hour or 2 hours after my wife asked me that, we did get an email. There was an issue, but it wasn't horrible. And luckily, my operations manager went over there with a smile at 8 o'clock at night, took care of it. And I didn't even ask if the customer was happy because, hell, why wouldn't they be? We sent somebody out there and did it. So, Eden, we're on 5-day rain out. Oh, that sucks. Leaves falling like crazy. Clients without trees are done for the year. Yeah, we've even so here's an interesting thing that we've never dealt with before, but we've got a lot of prepay customers that paid for mowing for the whole season who like there's nothing to do with their yards anymore and they still have a credit. So that's the part that's kind of like, whoa, that's weird. Because we started mowing so late and people started prepays in February. That's when we do the Feb deal, which is just around the corner, guys. Just around the corner. And so people have prepaid in February, and we were supposed to start mowing in April, but we didn't start mowing till almost March because of the weather. So, we're asking them if they want to use their credit for, leaf cleanup services, even snow clearing services. But most people just want to leave it on their account for next year, which is great for us, but it's going to make that prepay even more of a deal. They're already getting a good deal. Um, but it is what it is. It's one of those things. Um, and good for them that they still have credit on their account. We offer paying it back or applying it to next year. Yeah, that's what we do too. Um, you know, we had a new office person this year who didn't enter things in 100% correctly. So we've had some prepays that weren't linked to the service so that their charge wasn't getting eaten up, their credit wasn't getting eaten up. And so there's a customer who had, I want to say, $3,000 in credit on their account. And we noticed it because, um, we're just looking at all these accounts and they paid for snow removal and nobody caught it where they could have applied that credit to that. And so they had a $3,000 credit on their account and we pretty much did everything for them. But we were charging them still. Like they didn't notice that they were still getting charged or they didn't care. Or I don't know what. But we felt like we had to call the customer and say, here's the deal. You prepaid for all your services, but every time we did anything, we charged your card. So you have a credit on your account. What would you like us to do?" You know? I was like I told Rachel before she called, "Please make it so she has a credit on next year. Let's not try not to give a refund." You know what I mean? Um, and she tried, but the customer was like, and she was in a great mood and happy that we told her. She was very happy about that, but she definitely wanted the refund, and so we had to give her a refund. Um, and that was that, you know. But anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing. We never, and that actually happened on a couple other accounts too, where they prepaid and didn't catch it. But luckily, some of them have been caught, but some haven't. And I don't know why we didn't look closer. So, but now we are. So anyway, I gotta check one other thing here. How's everybody's day? Is anybody like what are you guys working on as far as like for next year kind of stuff? Kind of curious about that. Is anybody going to Dallas? Um, next, gonna be there next week. I know Service Autopilot conference starts Wednesday, and I'll be there Monday. Well, Sunday night, but Monday morning we start the mastermind meetings with the Simple Growth team, who I've just been super impressed with. Just super impressed. They've got quality material that they go over. Um, I feel like when I'm there, I feel like these are things that I'm going to implement into the company. Um, so I've been really happy with that, you know. And Service Autopilot conference is going to be great too, but it's going to be a little different, you know. So anyway, guys, I'm just trying to keep these at about an hour. Um, it's 9:36 right now, so I've got probably 25 minutes. So I'd like to hear from anybody. What's going on? What are you working on? Um, what do you need? Like, I don't know if you have any questions about what I'm working on. Um, Hello, Newson Lawn Care. What's up, man? Haven't heard from you in a while. Let's see. So we're gonna go tighter next year is one of our strategies. We're gonna try not to hire a bunch of office people. Um, I'm definitely not hiring a media person next year. I'm gonna try and do it myself. I haven't really tried totally doing it myself ever, probably. But I'm gonna try doing it myself. I've been putting up some videos on TikTok, and I don't know if you've seen those, but I've been putting some on there, and I've been doing those pretty much by myself with an app. And I don't know. I I need help with these videos. So I did talk to somebody who said they kind of wanted to help me with the videos, but I'm no longer gonna really believe it until I see it, because it's kind of hard to make these videos. I mean, these lives are easy. That's why I do them. But the regular videos that require editing and stuff, um, it's really hard to kick out and run a business, and I like to focus on my business. So the videos kind of take a back seat. But I've been talking to Griff, who, by the way, bro, Nick, dude, join on here with me. And I guess Tarek isn't coming on. That's fine. And don't know if you're still on, Griff, but if you are, dude, join in here. So I know we always talk about stuff, and so I'd like to keep that going too. Find out what you're doing. Um, as far as the end of the season going right now, what kind of stuff are you working on, or what do you think you should be working on? What do you wish you were working on? Um, Eden, working on a firm direction decision will need to be made. We'll need to hire another employee, need another truck and trailer. Um, so yeah, yeah, we're gonna try and make some. We're trying to make a decision. It's just so hard to really say, "Hey, this is how it's gonna be," and then just stick with it. Like if the plan was clear, I would do it. I always tell my guys, I can join, but is the link? Oh, I think the link's all the way. Oh shoot, you're right, dude. You're right, dude. Let me send you the link, bro. Um, I gotta find you real quick. I'm looking for your Instagram. I don't. Oh, there you go. I think it should work. Oh, damn it! I did something. Let me. Okay, here you go. Check your Instagram message. This should work. If it doesn't, let me know. Um, and that should get you in. So my plan was, we were like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. Gonna buy new trucks next year. I'm gonna start with two, and the profit, all the profit we get, I'm gonna save, 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 and then when I have enough, I'm gonna buy another truck. And the profit, save, 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 and then buy another truck. All right, let's see. I've got this trusty pen that I can reach the screen, and it's not working. Wait, is it? Did I mess you up? Hey, something's happening. There you are. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Can you hear me? Or is there a lag?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Okay, sweet.
Are you working or you just wanted to get away in your truck?
No, I'm actually just got done with an estimate. Trying to push that um spring packages.
Okay.
Trying to get people signed up on that.
Right now?
Which just like a lot of people have questions about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing like fall shutdowns and stuff, and I just kind of want to get them rolling, like just aware of the just because a lot of people don't like dethatching stuff like that, power raking. Um,
Gotcha.
they all want it, and all my clients want to, like this client, she's like, give me the Cadillac package you have, everything you do. I want everything. I'm like, all right, sweet. And just explaining stuff to them. So,
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. When people ask for this, that they want that service power raking in the fall, sometimes, or even in the middle of summer or whatever. And I'm like, it's better if you wait till the spring. So that's the only time I kind of tell them about it for the spring. But if they want it, I'm like, all right, we'll do it. We'll do it now. But I try to have it in the spring just for more security for us, because typically people aren't going to want to do it like in the fall and the spring. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So if we're gonna get that, we're gonna get the customer anyway. I'd rather wait till the spring, so when we're getting people in, they have more work and they can make more money faster than
Yeah. And that's kind of why I like that spring package you do, because it kind of,
yeah, it
like
starts the
sometimes in the
season
spring.
like a month early.
Yeah. And sometimes in the springtime, like it'll be February. I'm like, oh, there's not really much going on. I'm like sending out
Right.
stuff, and then it does always boom and hit. But if I
But
could
yeah,
get some of these people that I do everything for right now and say, hey, we want to be locked in for that package. So like right now, I think I have like 27 down for next year. Um, but then I'm sure I'll add
yeah,
hopefully like more than double that, which it
totally.
will. But um, I did have a question that I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
what's
you.
up?
At this point. So I hired this guy used to landscape for probably the biggest company here for like 10 years. And then I used to work with him at my old company for like 5 years. Then he went off with his buddy, and his buddy started a landscape company. Well, his buddy promised him like $1,000 a week. Never never gave it to him. And I've wanted him to work for me for a while. Um, so he came over to me and he's worked with me for like 2 weeks, but dude, he's probably been on time one time those 2 weeks. He has missed like 4 or 5 days because he'll go still do jobs with his friend.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he just texted me this morning. We are supposed to be in at 7:30. He's like, "Hey, his friend needs me this whole week for property cleanups. Is that cool?" And I'm like, "No, it's not cool." Like I just said, I was like, "You got to either pick me or him. Like I'm not. This isn't like a date or like we're not dating or something. Or I don't
Yeah.
know what you think it is." Like,
Yeah.
and he's in like a really bad financial spot. So I'm like, "You
Yeah.
obviously need money, and you." I don't know. It's like the other guy, which whatever doesn't pay you what he says or doesn't pay at all, but you're still gonna like choose him, and I do a bunch of stuff with him, and I've already helped him out a lot. And do you think I should just cut ties?
Yeah,
He's
I
re-
would.
the bad thing is, and I know this is like a controversial thing, is he's super, super knowledgeable and super good at anything landscape. He's like has been in the industry for like 35 years, which could be a good and a bad thing. I've already seen bad things about him trying to kind of be in his own way about stuff, not doing it my way, which is bad, but he does know e- almost everything you
Yeah.
need to know, to be honest.
Well, no, unless you can find. S- here's the deal. If I knew somebody that was like super knowledgeable, like really, like for real, I don't know if this guy's for real, but let's assume I'm in the same boat as you, where I knew this guy could do everything, and I really want him on my team somehow. If I really wanted him on my team, this is what I would do. I'd say, all right, man, if you really want to work for me, this is what I need. You need to come in 3 days a week, 10 to 12, whatever time, since you've got this other thing going on, got to do that. And I would try and work on that only. Like if he was really that good, maybe he'd be an estimator, right? So, hey, go out and do estimates for here. I'll give you a list. You got to get them done. If you can't do it, no hard feelings, but I'm going to stop giving you jobs. Like just go with your friend, over there. That's what I would do, but expecting him to work all day is obviously not going to happen, So it's either, like you're thinking, like he's got something that is valuable, which is knowledge. Okay, so but he's not going to commit to you. He's not going to do that. But maybe he'll commit to something you need, which is estimating that maybe he hasn't thought about either. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but if there's something you could do that's just a few hours a day, and then if he does want to work, all right, which job that you estimated can you do on your own? Like, you know,
Yeah.
otherwise it's going to be put on the list for somebody to do. But typically, this early in the state, like right now, if anybody was like that with us, they wouldn't work here. And I know that's kind of the same boat when you're a smaller company, but you want to invest even that little bit of money in somebody that is going to be more loyal, even if they're not that good, because they can learn from you, and they could just work side by side with you, and that could be more valuable than somebody that's just not showing up every day. So I would just let them go unless you had like a few hours a day job that he he'd be really stupid not to do. Um, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you want?" He told me. I was like, "All right, I'll make it work." And then the good thing with him is he has his chemical license or applicator's license, which is hard to find. Um, like I said, he knows a lot. Even like we did a couple landscaping jobs together so far. And he was upselling to the customer like right in front of me, which was fine. And I mean, the customer took it, and he didn't tell him price or anything, but kind of was recommending stuff like how you should and upselling stuff. And I was thinking in my head, like, damn, this is nice because like I don't have to hold your hand. You know what you're talking about. Versus other guys I've had, it's like you don't even know what landscape fabric is at first, which is fine. I'll teach people, but there is a point
Well,
too
yeah.
where
I mean, there is, and I think I've told you. It's like when I first started this company, basically I had to give a ride to people. had to give them a ride to work because they didn't have any car or nothing, you know. And then it was like, then people started like riding the bus on their own to work, you know. And you're at that level where they're like still like don't really have transportation. Um, they obviously never did this kind of work, or they're not experienced in workforce, right? You know, obviously, right? If I don't care how old they are or whatever, if they still don't have a car, like they don't have experience in the workforce, you know what I mean? Or in life, I would not in a bad way, just like, dude, you know, the quality of worker is still you're not there yet. But you gotta bring in somebody that's gonna be loyal, who will eventually one day wake up and go, man, I could really help this company and get more because on my last check, I just bought a TV. You know what I mean? It's like that's kind of where stage you're at. You know, you can't really afford. You know, this guy, if you could afford him, he would be there. You know what I mean? If you could say, dude, I'll pay you 1,000. Here's your first check. He'll probably stick with you. You know, but that might be
Yeah.
too much, right? That's like a $30 an hour dude right there for $1,000.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I think my headphone died. I can't hear you anymore. You there?
Can you hear me?
Hold on,
Yeah,
one
can
more
you hear
time.
me?
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me? I can hear you.
All right, my headphone died or something. So, does that make sense? So, like right now, um, you know, I'm probably on the other side of like where you were, and I get people who know what they're doing and like are like dying to tell me their resume. You know, like, hey, I've done tree work. You see that tree? I know how to do this or that. You know what I mean? So, but you just got to get to this point, which is unfortunately got to drag people. You know, I have a I have a guy who is he with me or not? I don't know. We don't know. But anyway, he's really good. Like if he went to your company, he would help you in ways you wouldn't even understand. But
Yeah.
he'll say that he's the best worker, that he's the smartest dude in the world, and he did everything. But guess what? I paid for his ass to learn that when he was damn near homeless. And now he's like kind of a really good worker, but he in his mind he did it himself. In my mind, I dragged his ass and paid him every week so that he could get that good. So that's kind of the mentality. Like that's the long and short of it. It's like nobody is in this industry. They don't go to school to work for nickel lawn care, right? Or you know what I mean? Like that you got to teach them how to do that. So so that's what I would focus my resources on is somebody that you can that has a good attitude and well, you think that we'll eventually get it and kind of grow from there. Cause like my Fernando guy, dude, he didn't know nothing. And then now he's like freaking badass. He's doing his own thing. But I literally, it's not because I can't pay him enough. He just feels like, it's his time to try and do it himself, and he's going to give it a shot.
Is he doing the same thing as you?
What do you mean?
Like lawn care?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you feel any way about that, or I mean, there's enough work for everybody.
um, yeah. I have my moments where I'm like really I'm not betrayed or anything because like I said I've been super grateful that he's done everything he has with me because he gave me everything 100%, and I paid him as 100% but I could, so we both, it was an equal thing in that situation. But so like those guys that I let go, I don't know if you caught my video a second ago. By the way, you cut out on my phone, but you're still on my screen. I don't know if you're still going to be there in a second. Hey, raise your hand if you can hear me. I think you cut out. Let me see if I touch the screen. You died, man. So anyway, I'm going to talk about this quick little story. So those guys that I let go because they don't have a driver's license went to work for him.
Um, Now, is that his fault? Is that my guy's fault that got fired from me, let go for the winter? Is that my fault because I didn't think about that could happen? Um, or is that a good thing? You know, is it a good thing that those guys that got let go from me because they don't have a driver's license and so got to let them go during this time can still have work somewhere? So they're still happy, and maybe this could be a good partnership thing. I guess I don't know, but when I first found out that they were working for him, I was really upset. Um, and I even had my phone out and I said, "Hey Siri, call him." But I got another phone call that I've been waiting on at the office, and I saw on the caller ID it was the customer I'm waiting on, so I hung up before the phone rang, and I picked up, and then I just had a cool off moment where I didn't what's it say? Guest left. So try go back on the app, man, unless your phone died, because that's what happened to me. Um, Griff, I want to say is in. Dang it. Hey Eden, sorry, I forgot to ask Griff what his location is. I want to say, what's that place called? Um, Shoot, I can't remember. Um, I don't think it's Idaho or Omaha. Can't remember. I'll have to ask him. But anyway, so yeah, things are gonna happen, right? I mean, even Fernando's like, it's probably best that at some point we do just part ways, like, that I don't come help out because you know he's got a strong head on his shoulders, so I know he understands that this is going to be a hard move for him. So in his mind, he's like, well, it wouldn't hurt if maybe next year I can work, one day a week and help you, spray the flower beds of gardens or whatever, because that's one of the things he was doing this year. And but then, we get to talking, and then he's like, it's probably best if we just split up, and I'm like, yeah, probably best that way, so there isn't any weirdness going on, because um, I'm going to be an open book, just like I am to everybody. Um, I'll answer your questions. I'll help you out when you have issues. The only thing I don't want you to do is don't want you to take my employees, which honestly I don't think he could, because my employees are too money hungry, and they have security here. Where they go over there, they're taking a risk, because first of all, if they do that, they're not going to work here anymore, and so they'll lose that security. I offer benefits, health insurance, PTO. I have the best equipment that the guys can use. So I mean, they're not going to have all that when they go to somebody starting a company. It's just not going to happen right away. It's not going to be there immediately. And my guys are immediate tours. My people are immediate tours. They need things now, now, now. And that's kind of why we're so strong, because I can get them that right now, now, now. So I'm not really worried about taking my employees, but I still need that disclaimer out there. Hey, don't touch my employees and we'll be good. Don't touch my customers and we'll be good. Now I know that we're going to have customers that are somebody's going to see him on a property and say, hey, guess where I saw Fernando? He's on this property. And my blood is going to boil, right? It's going to boil. And if it's, if the customer that he's working on, you know, left, it wasn't recent or something, I may be okay with that. And I can't, I mean, what can I do? But at that point, I got to cut ties with him if he's taking my customers. Now, I don't know, if that's going to happen. I trust him. I hope that we can continue a great relationship always, but that's one of the things that will make it so that I can't trust him anymore, and I wouldn't want, I would at that point maybe make deals with those other customers that they can't refuse, so that I get my customer back, and that would not be good for that wouldn't be good for anybody. But that would be the kind of thing that I feel like that would make me want to do if I saw him doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I mean, and don't touch my equipment, right? Like, don't come ask for equipment during when you're on your own. Don't ask for equipment. If you stay away from those three things, I think we could have a good relationship, refer work to each other somehow. But not if he does any of those three things. But it's been an hour, and I will let you go right now. I'll probably, I'll try and do a live on next Saturday. I'll be in Dallas. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try. Um, but anyway, all right, guys, take it easy. Have a great week. Don't forget, this is basically, we're getting close to the start of the season. I'm talking like the first snowdrop is the start of your next season. That's how we should look at it. So make sure your numbers, you got your numbers the way you want. You're figuring out policies, procedures, things like that. All right? That's what I'm doing. Talk to you later.